Zack Snyder fans have got to be the most delusional dimwits I have ever seen in my entire life. Ever since Man of Steel was released in 2013, the DC fanbase has been infiltrated and the DC fanbase have been invaded by a lot of these wannabe cinephiles, because these Zack Snyder fans, they think they know how to create a good movie. They think they can differentiate between a good movie and a bad movie. They believe they know how to create and how to spot good cinematography. They believe that they know everything about the DC characters. They hate that Batman does not kill in the comics. They hate that Superman is not a mopey, depressed loser like how he is in the Man of Steel, because in the comics, Superman is a completely different character than how he was portrayed in Man of Steel. But these Zack Snyder fans, they hate that. They only love Zack Snyder's vision for DC. They will reject every single thing that is not produced or made or directed by Zack Snyder, man. They will hop on bandwagons like the Fantastic Four First Steps just so they can disingenuously support that movie in order to degrade Superman. But as soon as it has been revealed that Fantastic Four First Steps is underperforming in the box office, they completely jump off that bandwagon. They're fake fans, and you're asking to yourself, yo, big bro, why are you making this video? What happened that is pissing you off so much? What did these Zack Snyder fans do recently that is pissing you off so much? Well, I'm gonna tell you why exactly I'm making this video, man, because ever since Superman has been released in 2025, man, I thought that these Zack Snyder fans will crawl back into their little bubble and they will never ever see the light of day again. But bro, these niggas will not stop. They will not stop their delusional takes. They will not stop their horrendous and horrible takes about DC, because these guys are not real comic fans. They will go on record stating that they hate the comics. They will scream at the top of their lungs that they really despise the DC comics. They only want to see Zack Snyder's vision be fulfilled. And there was one particular Snyder fan that really highlights how delusional their fan base is, because a lot of Zack Snyder fans believe that every single comic book movie after Man of Steel are all stealing ideas from Zack Snyder, and they're always posting this quote from Christopher Nolan that states that he doesn't see any new superhero film that is not influenced by Zack Snyder. Now, on this topic, right, about how these new superhero films are influenced by Zack Snyder, James Gunn's Superman is influenced by Man of Steel. James Gunn has gone on record to state that this movie has a lot of influences from previous Superman adaptations like Superman 1978 and even Man of Steel. James Gunn has said that, but it seems that these fans are trying to put a picture that James Gunn is blindly copying every single thing from Zack Snyder. They really believe that James Gunn literally copied Zack Snyder's homework word for word and bar for bar, and they believe that Zack Snyder created all of these scenes, and all of these scenes were never invented or done before in Superman comics and in Superman media. Now, this account called KG Crossover, this nigga is so delusional, bro. Like, this post that he recently just made today is trying to show that every single scene and frame from the James Gunn Superman movie has been ripped off from Zack Snyder, and he really is painting this picture that James Gunn's entire movie is just a cheap Man of Steel knockoff. Well, I'm gonna have to debunk a lot of his claims, man, because now we're looking at this first scene, right? We're seeing this comparison of Superman. He's talking, but the sun is beaming from the back of him. The sun is basically highlighting Superman's outline, right? But he's trying to say that this scene was created from Zack Snyder. No, bro, this scene has been done many times in Superman media and comics. Like, you can literally see this right here. This drawn from Jim Lee, predates Man of Steel. Like, what are we even doing here? So there have been many examples of a sun beaming behind Superman. Like, what are we even doing here? Then we now look at this other example, right? As the video is going on, his mind is becoming more delusional and delusional as this video is going on, because there is this side-by-side comparison of both Man of Steel's Superman Superman and James Gunn Superman getting up from being knocked down in a fight. But he's trying to say that James Gunn copied this entire scene when in fact Superman has been getting up from being knocked down many times before. And a prime example I can give is when you know the death of the Superman story, right? When Superman got beat up by Doomsday and Superman and Doomsday killed each other in the streets of Metropolis. There is a scene before their deaths when Doomsday kicks Superman all the way down from the sky and Superman crash lands down to the ground. And Doomsday is trying to go away so that he can reach Metropolis. And Superman now gets up from this fight as his parents Martha and John Kent are watching. Superman gets up. So Zack Snyder did not invent Superman getting up from a fight. Superman has been getting up from fights ever since he was created. I don't know what this video is trying to paint. Then there is another example of this delusional comparison, and it's like a speed blitz comparison. In the Man of Steel clip, we're seeing Superman speed blitzing Zod, and then in the Superman clip, we're seeing the engineer speed blitzing Superman. But the thing is, speed blitzing is not a new concept for Superman. I don't know what this nigga is talking about. I don't know what this nigga is even saying, because when you actually read Superman comics or watch Superman media, you know that speed blitzing is something that has always been done. And this can be seen in Superman issue 215 when he's facing General Zod and this entire world is about to explode. But we're looking at this fight. General Zod and Superman are going crazy in this fight, and General Zod now spares Superman. He uses his speed to speed blitz Superman, and he speed blitzes Superman. So this is not a new concept. This is not something that Zack Snyder has created. This has been done in Superman comics before, and this comic predates Man of Steel. So I don't know what this nigga is talking about. Then when I look at another comparison clip in this video, and we're seeing this comparison clip that's showing Man of Steel Superman, he's repeatedly punching Zod. So Superman is telling Zod basically, you do not threaten my mother. And in the Superman 2025 clip, we're looking at Superman repeatedly punching Ultraman inside the pocket universe. Now this nigga is trying to say that Man of Steel invented this scene and Man of Steel is basically the superior scene and James Gunn Superman copied this scene. No, James Gunn Superman copied many Superman scenes where Superman has used his speed to repeatedly punch an enemy. This has been done many times in the Superman media and comics. An example I can give is in Superman issue 207 when we're looking at Superman, he's fighting this beast and he flies to this beast. He's using his speed to repeatedly punch this beast so fast that you can't even really register how many punches Superman is given to this beast. So this is not a new concept of Superman repeatedly punching someone. I don't know what this nigga is trying to convey in this video, bro. This nigga is delusional. Then the next comparison clip is Superman being arrested both in Man of Steel and in Superman 2025. If he was a real Superman fan, he would know that Superman has been arrested before, and he was arrested in Dean Cain's Superman and Lois, man. Superman has been arrested before. This is not a concept that Zack Snyder has created. This nigga is delusional, bro. And we're seeing the scene of Superman flying. Like, Superman has flown in this exact same shot many times in the comics and in the movies. Hell, even Christopher Reeve's Superman flew like this. So many other Superman has flown like this, man. In this exact same dynamic shot many times. This nigga is actually delusional, bro. And now we're looking at this new side-by-side comparison clip where we're seeing both Henry Cavill's and James Gunn's Superman are knocked down and they are on the ground. But this dude does not know that this scene has been done before in JLA issue 29. Because when Captain Marvel sucker punched Superman to knock him out, Superman was knocked out. Superman has been knocked out before. He has been knocked down before. This is not a new concept that Zack Snyder has invented. Another really dumb side-by-side comparison this nigga put in his video is he was showcasing both Henry Cavill and James Gunn Superman lifting something very heavy, and they were struggling to lift something very heavy. But this nigga is so dumb because he doesn't realize that Superman has been struggling when he was lifting heavy things in the comics long long before Man of Steel was ever released, man. And another side-by-side comparison that is so dumb is when he was comparing Zod pulling Superman's cape and spinning around, twirling him around, and he was also showing that James Gunn's Superman was spinning Ultraman around in kind of the same way as he was spinning him around. Well, that is not a new fighting style, man. Superman spins people and things around, especially in the Justice League animated show, because we can see Superman, he spins around one of the ships of the Imperium, man. These are not new concepts that Zack Snyder has made. And another example showing how dumb this post is he is showing a side-by-side comparison of Superman withstanding fire in both James Gunn's Superman and Man of Steel, when in the comics Superman has withstood fire before, but even in Christopher Reeve's movies, bro, Superman literally withstood fire in Superman 2 in 1983. Man, James Gunn literally did not completely copy every single thing word for word, bar for bar from Zack Snyder. So if we're going by this same rhetoric, that means that Zack Snyder copied literally everything from the Superman comics word for word and bar for bar. So that will put both Zack Snyder and James Gunn as copycats. Like, what are we even doing here? What is this delusional ass video trying to convey? And then the last one that is so retarded, when I saw this, I was thinking to myself, is this nigga actually a real person or is he a bot? Because he's showing a side-by-side comparison clip of Superman smiling. I'm like, bro, Superman smiles. Like, bro, anyone can smile. Batman smiles, The Flash smiles, Punisher smiles, anyone can smile. Like, how is this an example of James Gunn copying from Zack Snyder, bro? Any Superman can smile. Any Superman from the comics has smiled. Even Injustice Superman has smiled. Red Sun Superman has smiled. Every single iteration of Superman has smiled. What is this nigga on? This nigga is smoking meth and crack and Xanax and K2 all in one, bro. These Zack Snyder fans, they really need psychological help, man. They really need to seek mental help because they really believe that Zack Snyder is the be-all end-all. They think that Zack Snyder is the real blueprint for any single comic book media in the future. That's not the case. James Gunn, obviously, he took some inspiration from Man of Steel. He has stated that before, but that doesn't mean that he completely copied that movie word for word, bar for bar. A lot of the scenes that this nigga put in this video were all done before in the Superman media and in the Superman comics. So these Zack Snyder fans, man, we need to do something about these niggas, bro, because come on, bro, they're looking at Superman 2025 succeeding. They're looking at Superman is going to get a new sequel and they're still crying and moaning and bitching, man. But that's the end of the video, man. I just wanted to highlight this annoying ass post, bro. This post kind of pissed me off, man. But I'm out. Peace.